authortube, welcome back to another day of chasing our dreams of being an author. We are currently in the Jeep right now, headed for Orcas Island, which is in the Puget Sound, Washington. Beautiful area. If you guys could only see these mountains right now, they're gorgeous. Hoping to get some writing done today. I am currently very behind on my writing goal for this month, and it's a pretty official goal. Told people about it. I've had it laid out in stone for a long time that I need to hit 60K words by the end of this month. And we're approaching that deadline. We are, let's see, so we have six days to hit nearly 10K words, which there's maybe some people out there that would be like, okay, easy. But here's the thing. Here's the situation. There's been so much change going on in my life right now, like a crazy, ridiculous amount of change. Every day, something new happens, things are moving in the air, tight deadlines with work, a lot just to be processing in general. It's funny because one of my friends who's staying with me right now, we actually went to the store yesterday and both of our brains were just not working at all, We were both spaced. Just to give you an idea, we get to the checkout and we just stand there at the self-checkout, just kind of forgetting how to do everything. She's standing by the bags. I'm just I meant to type into tomatoes, but I was just entering my phone number oh, we're done. Still had the whole cart left. Our brains were not working. But that's an ideal picture of where my brain is right now. So I am needing some fresh scenery. I also am at a point in my novel where there's some plot holes going on. Just a lot of harder things to think through, which actually aren't plot holes. I kind of just thought about recently, I think I've been overusing or misusing the word plot hole, because I tend to use it whenever there's just a difficult point in my plot that will affect other things, that takes a lot of brain power, something that I haven't quite figured out yet, when really a plot hole is when there's something wrong with the plot. So I've been tending to overuse that word. My writing group is probably how many plot holes do you have? Every week I'm I gotta figure out this plot hole. So thankfully not a plot hole, but I do have a part I haven't quite figured out yet that I'm writing right now that also slows down my writing quite a lot. For those that don't know, I also work a full-time tech job, so I know 10K in 6 days, that doesn't feel like a lot, but it's feeling like a lot to me right now. So my hope for today is just to get a little bit of a head start on that, but mainly to brainstorm, to figure out this part of my plot, because I think with first drafts, it's important not to get too caught up in the details, especially with the prose. With the first draft, you don't need to worry about the prose so much, but what I have figured out is I do want the content to at least be as right as possible. When I go back and do rewrites, the ideal would not be to be rewriting the actual content, just the prose. And I try to take writing a slow enough amount to where, okay, maybe my writing voice is not coming through right now, or the prose aren't exactly prosing, but the content I feel solid in. That's where I like to be when I'm going through my first draft, even if it means it's a little slower. So I tend to put a lot of thought into the scenes I write next, what's going on with characters' backstories, what's going on just plot-wise. I want to have the content, at least in the plot, be similar to what the final draft will be. Who knows? But that's the dilemma, that's the situation. My goal in tackling this is just to get the content down, because I move so much faster when I show up in my writing sessions knowing, okay, this is what I need to do, X, Y, and Z. So if I get that down, it will go faster. So that's kind of the goal for today. My friends and I have talked about possibly doing a write till sunrise challenge. Maybe that will happen. I highly doubt it though, since I do have work. Maybe I'll take off work to hit this writing deadline. It's that important to me, even with all my limited PTO, but we'll see. So yeah, we're headed to the ferry now. Aesthetics of this place can't get better for writing, so that is something working for me right now, which I need. And I can't wait to take you guys along. Let's go write some beautiful things today. So we finally arrived to Orcas Island and we spent the first half of the day just walking around the town. First things first, we went and grabbed breakfast. I was giggling back at the footage of me showing off these jams like it's some sort of haul. Can you tell I'm new to this YouTube thing? But this town, it is just adorable. They have everything from candy stores to bookshops. Actually, the bookshop here was one of the cutest I've ever been to. It sat right on the water. It featured some local authors' books, which is always such a great thing to see. Though it is super cute, this island is incredibly small. It actually has 0 stoplights on the whole island. And I don't think I realized quite how small it felt until we got there. I am doing this thing where I'm trying to go as many places in the Puget Sound as possible to explore, because much of the books in my series that I'm writing take place throughout the Puget Sound, and so it just allows me to see different places more clearly, to know if I want to include them in my writing. I eventually did stop at a cafe, a really cute one in an even more rural town. All they had was this one coffee shop and a pottery store. I think I got about 1,000 words in here. I think I spent about an hour and a half here. I am currently at the hardest part of my book, just because it's the least defined, and I'm definitely more of a plotter. And so I feel like my pace has been slower than usual. So recently I've just thought of any progress as progress. It kind of feels like forever until I'll get through this one part, which is the fun and game section of the book. Just been a tough part for me, but we're getting there. After writing, as you can see, I did go up to Mount Constitution, which I think is the coolest part of this island. A lot of the islands in the Puget Sound I've went to have not had like a huge mountain, so I could overlook a lot of the Puget Sound. And then after that, we went to the cutest bed and breakfast we were staying at. It was a really pleasant surprise because I really did not put in too much thought into booking, but this place is exactly how I want my home to look one day, because it is just so beautiful. And they had a little library, and that top shelf you see there is all featuring local authors that actually stayed in that bed and breakfast while writing. Alright, so this bed and breakfast has blown me away so far completely. No wonder so many writers have come here, because it is a writer's paradise. Having this little nook just to write in, like that word count, it's easy now. Easy. Yeah, I fear that word count no longer. I think I'll get some good words going tonight. I am so excited just to be writing here and reading here right now. So in the library below, I got a stack of the books from indie authors that have written here that have called out to me the most. And there's a lot of them here. And so I just want to go through them. And these are people that have written here, who knows, possibly in this room. So this one called out to me because of how beautiful this title is. I do love, like, the simplicity. Beautiful. This, okay, honestly, I've not read the description or anything. I was just like, whoa, that's a cool name. Ecotopia. That definitely grabs my eye. Seems like a book that would be, like, well known. Like, I feel like I have heard of Ecotopia before. Maybe that's just a combination of very familiar words together. I don't know. But I thought this was cool. And just, like, the tree structure grabbed my eye. It is politics fiction. Maybe like a little dystopian. I don't know. But if you're curious, go check this one out. This one I grabbed because it reminds me of my own book that I'm writing, in the way of magical realism, set in a setting similar to what you've seen in this vlog so far. Who knows, it could give some inspiration for my own book. This one, I love anything to do with the ocean, poems to do with the ocean. I could read about that for a very long time. This is all to do with poems about the Salish Sea, which, if you don't know, is a sea nestled in the Puget Sound. And so I thought this was cool, just little poems about the ocean here. And then this one, cool cover. Look at this cover, just grabs your eye. And I read the plot description, and there's a lot going on in this plot, a lot. Yeah, someone's daughter disappears, and he tries to get her back. That's like one sentence out of this whole plot. There's a lot going on here. So these just grabbed my eye. I like to always shout out indie authors when I get the chance, and it was really fun like going through this bookshelf and being like, who knows, maybe my own book might be here at some point. Just wanted to show that. My current read that I am reading is God of the Woods. I've been so impressed by the writing so far because it is like 15 different point of views. Wait, let me back check that real quick. Oh, actually no, 8 different point of views. 8 or 9 technically, but I've never really read a book with that many POVs before. And so I'm really impressed how clear and easy it is to follow, because it's not only just a lot of different viewpoints, but also jumping around timelines. And you would think that would be like, no, like a book you don't want to pick up, it's just too confusing, but it's really simple. I think it's been a long time since a book has like really grabbed me just from the beginning of it. Typically it happens a little bit more in thrillers, and this is more of the thriller genre, but God of the Woods, really good. I was planning to read, but honestly, right now I think I'm gonna just take a nap, because I don't think I've ever yawned more in a day than I have today. I'm just yawning back to back to back to back, and I think it's because I added up like how much sleep I've been getting all throughout this week, and guys, I don't think I've slept more than 5 hours in like at least 7 days, like sometimes worse than that. So I'm fairly sleep deprived, and it is now catching up to me. I feel like I'm at the point, maybe that's why I was so spacey the other day too. I'll just take a little nap. Not that a little nap will fix that, but I should be doing that before getting back to writing. I think I've used all of my brain power up and then some. So a nap sounds like a good idea, and this place is so peaceful, so it won't be hard, and I will keep you guys updated.